So now it is my honor and my privilege to welcome back Janet Ellis. Janet, for those of you that don't know, is an international speaker, published author, interfaith minister, and a manifestation coach specializing in personal resilience and emotional and spiritual wellness. She also specializes in leadership and organizational renewal. Janet has inspired many groups and individuals to make positive changes in their lives. And through her company, Janet's Planets of Empowerment, she designs and delivers inspirational workshops, seminars, and keynote speakers. And we're so happy to have you back, Janet. Thank you for joining us again, and welcome. Please give a warm unity welcome to Janet Ellis.
Good morning. I'm so glad to be back with you. And I'm excited to be able to share with you today a process that I have been diligently working on to attempt to change an aspect of my life. And so I thought I might share it with you so that maybe we can kind of grow a little and learn a little together. So the title of the talk is there life before death? And I know that Cheryl thought that was quite interesting when I first started talking about it, but there's a good reason for that concept. So I'm going to share a little story with you first so you can get an idea, and then we'll take it from there. So I have a neighbor who was talking to me one day, and he said that an official looking fellow showed up at his door and flashed an ID from the water department. And he was telling me, the guy told him, I just read your water meter and I have to inform you that you have an unusually high usage this month. And the guy said, high usage? And the guy said, yes, sir, about 4 times the usual amount than what you normally use. And he said, my neighbor said, there's no way. And he showed him the numbers, and my neighbor looked at the numbers and he wasn't kidding. And he said, it's our policy to let you know about this in case you have any leaks in your water system. And the neighbor said, I was thinking I've got no leaks. I have no leaks that I know of. He had a tenant and he thought maybe the tenant had been taking a lot more showers but that couldn't be it. Not a lot more showers. He doesn't even wash his own dishes. So what really got him was not 80,000 gallons of showers. That's how much it had increased. And so he thanked the waterman and told him he'd try to conserve this month and hope the bill would come down. A few days later, the neighbor was sitting on his back porch when he noticed a puddle in the corner of his yard. That puddle had been there for a while, but he had figured it was due to some heavy rain that we had had, but the rest of the lawn had dried up. The puddle was still there. So he goes over there and he pokes his hand into the puddle. There was a pipe beneath it and it was leaking. And I can tell you exactly how much it was leaking. 80,000 gallons a month. And think about that. Now we're thinking water. If you are losing energy, just stop and think about this. If you are losing energy in the form of joy, health, money, or love, you have a leak in your system. There is no malevolent parasite that has invaded your world and is undermining you. Your leak is on your property, and as such, you have access to repair it. So that's the interesting piece about this. Energy. I know so many of us go through times that might have a whole bunch of energy. I know there are times that I feel this burst of energy and I might finally get the house clean, or a burst of energy where I want to talk to people or go visit somebody because that energy is just permeating my body and it feels so strong and it feels so positive and it feels so good. And then there are moments there that I can barely move. And it was like yesterday, for instance, my husband and I went to the Peach Festival here in Weatherford, Texas. And it was like almost 102 yesterday. So it was pretty warm and humid. And so by the time we got home, I went straight to the bed, laid across it, and fell asleep. So the energy was not there at the time. The point is, the entire game of life is about making the best use of our energy, right? The question is not, is there life after death? The question is there life before death? And to answer this for yourself and live it, you must quit doing things that deplete your energy and start doing things that expand it. And I know in Unity, we talk about this a lot. You know, there are things, the more you can find your purpose and your passion, the more you're able to get out there and do and be who you truly are. And I think I talked about this before with authenticity. It's real important to have that energy. And to get that healthy kind of energy, it's about finding that passion and that desire, right? So, excuse me, to answer this for yourself and live it, we need to stop depleting our energy and start doing things to expand it. Now, Moses delivered the 10 commandments that point out how to accomplish this. But nobody wants to be commanded, especially us unitics. B, Charlton Heston's bad makeup job undermined Moses' credibility. And C, nobody has enough patience on the internet to wait for 10 commandments to download. So what are you going to do? So here's everything you need to know to relocate from what I call Suckville, and I don't mean in a negative way. It's sucking your energy from your system, and we need to find a way to be able to keep that energy alive and constantly going. And so do what brings you life. Do what deadens you. I'll say that again. Do what brings you life. Do not do what deadens you. Okay, I'm done. That's it. I'm kidding. Wait, don't go. So the reasons you are not where you want to be is that you are doing things you do not want to do. And I'm not saying that is where you are. I know I've had that experience a number of times. And having originally left the corporate world and trying to find out what I wanted to do and how I wanted to show up in the world was a challenge. And it was not easy for me. One of the most popular tricks of power and control freaks is to hide in complexity. But the best answer to a problem is usually the simplest. So the thing about it is there are things you have to do that you don't want to do. And we know that. Pay the bills, take out the trash, do those things that are not thrilling, but not as many as we are doing. We need to give ourselves a break. So if you took the energy you're wasting on things that suck and use it for things you love, what would you be doing differently? That's the main question. What would you be doing differently? Now, if you wouldn't be doing anything differently, more power to you, man. You got the energy, you're in the place you need to be, and that is wonderful. If you're not sure, or you feel like your energy is depleting, it's just a thought about what would you be doing? What would you be doing differently if you use the energy for the things that you love? Now, I know each one of us has probably had an opportunity to experience something that I absolutely love. I'm a kid at heart, you guys. My little girl in me just wants to play all the time. And it was really interesting in regards to finding energy, like when my mom was really sick and she was dying, and we were best friends. We lived together. We were going to be together forever. I was going to take care of her. She was going to take care of me. And then evidently, universe had a different idea. And so there was a time when I spent a lot of time at the hospital, and one day I couldn't take it anymore. I mean, my energy, it had just been sucked out of me, and I had nothing left. And just as just a little example, I go out to the park. Actually, I go to the dollar store first, and I go and I buy a big old bottle of bubbles. And then I get a little bubble wand and a little tray to pour the bubbles in. And I go out to the park not far from the hospital, and I just lose myself in playing with these bubbles. I don't know what it is, don't know what it is, but I love bubbles. And so I'd stay out there, and I would lose myself and just until the bubble juice was gone. And I could be out there, a couple hours and completely be in that energy of love and connection, and be able to re-ground myself, remember who I am, remember that who my mother is and who's taking care of her, and being in that energy and in that excitement for a moment. And then I would go back to the hospital and hang with her, re-energized and being able to be present for her and it not be all about me. So there are different ways of doing this. Just give yourself a break. So again, what would you be doing differently if you had that energy, that love for life? That love for life, is it still there? When you invest your time and energy in stuff that drags you down, you die a little bit every day. And not literally, well, that's not true. It could be literally, but then your life force reduces to a dribble and a croak. I love the verbiage here. Dribble and a croak. That's about all you got. Yet the Bible documents people who live for hundreds of years, and there are people in remote regions today who live far past 100. Their lives are simpler, and they do not fritter away their life force watching people hit each other over the head with chairs on Jerry Springer, if you know what that show is. They just live close to nature. They eat, well, I wouldn't say they eat yogurt, but I don't know about that. And they develop meaningful relationships with llamas. Can you see that? So open your heart to a critter who won't dump you on national television, and you will live long enough to get a birthday card from the President of the United States, maybe even in Canada. So the point being is, what is your life energy like right now? Where are you? Where do you focus your energy? What's going on in that head? Where are the thoughts? We have been taught over and over and over and over again, as far as meditation goes, as prayer goes, to be in the silence and hear what we need to hear through source. And some days it's very easy to do that, and some days it's not. However, if you can remember to go within, if you can remember to connect with that which is source for you, and to do that on a daily basis, that's one of the biggest first steps ever in regards to getting your energy back. The energy is so important. I have situations right now, I'm caretaking 2 family members, and it's hard. It's been very tough, and it's heartbreaking, because I see people that I care about greatly that are struggling and don't have the means to get the help that they need, and so they're doing it on their own. And as much as I can do, I attempt to. However, it's really not enough. And so there are days that I go to be with them so that I can share my energy and my joy. But what I find is sometimes coming back home, I'm crying, and I'm depleted, and I just don't know what I'm going to do or how I could best help. And then I remember again where that energy comes from. And so it's important that we remember and we focus on that we love to do. I don't know about you, but I had at one point in my working on myself, my spiritual aspects, and attempting to try and find those things that I did not know that I like to do. So, I did the painting thing and it was okay. And I did coloring. I love coloring. I did the bubbles. I did, card playing. I love playing solitaire. I mean, it's just these little things. Playing games. I miss playing games so much with somebody else. I think it's just important to find what it is that you love. Find what it is that energizes you. Find what it is that is so important that can get you up and going every day. A reason for living. I know for me right now, it is about the museum that my husband and I are working on. It's about me getting to speak to people like you. I mean, my passion and my love is an opportunity to be able to speak and share what I've learned and how I've grown and what it is I do day to day to try and keep myself energized with that love of life, and I love of myself, the love of others, and to be able to remember why I'm here. So your attention is the strongest currency at your disposal. Your attention, right? So if you squander it, your life will result in one big overdraft. So it's like, while you may be very careful about what you pay for with your money, you are probably less careful about what you pay for with your attention. In the long run, how you spend your attention affects your life far more profoundly than how you spend your money, if that makes any sense. If you invest your energy in things you value, you will collect interest big time and be interested along the way. Everything you do is an investment in more of the same. Remember, whatever you think is what typically you create. It's very important that we are aware of our thoughts. It's so easy that's one of my biggest pieces. It's so easy to get caught up in the everyday habitual behavior and thoughts. Those thoughts are so automatic that I don't always know that those thoughts are going. And so it's a real determined practice on my part to keep my attention at that level, so that I know that what I'm thinking and what I'm feeling at the time is about being positive and energizing myself so that I can be there and share with others. So everything you do is an investment in more of the same. The illusion is that if you do something you don't like long enough, it will go away. The truth is that the more you get involved in something, the more involvement it leads to. Anybody ever own a boat? You think it's going to be fun. Next thing you know, all your money's in the boat, and then you can't use the boat because it's not running and so forth. If you truly enjoy something, dive in. If not, have the guts to walk away from what doesn't serve you. That's the biggest piece right there. Have the guts to walk away from what doesn't serve you. There is no redeeming value in misery unless you do timeshare presentations. But other than that, there is no redeeming value in misery. And it's so true, and it's so hard to witness how most of the people in the world are not awake, as I always say, but they don't know that they're living misery and misery. If they're not happy, if they don't have that misery in their life, if they don't have something to complain about, if they don't have something to negate, if they don't have something to point at to say it's their fault, so they don't have to look at themselves, that they're not happy. But that's not our goal. Our goal is to be able to stand in our truth, stand in our love, stand in our understanding of what it is that we have to give to the world, what energy I have to put towards what it is that I'm passionate about. And if I focus all that energy into that which I love and share it with others, there it is. And if each and every one of us are doing that, there it is. We'd be spreading the love and the passion. And not only are we giving it to others, but we're getting it back. And so the misery that so many people live in today and the craziness that's going on out there, I don't even watch the news anymore. I don't want to know how many more people have been shot and killed. I can't take that energy on. I want to be able to stand in the energy of knowing that this is a good place, that there are good people out there, and that's not living in denial. It's knowing that they show more of the negative on the news because it gets more people watching it, and that they may feel that positive and good things are too boring to show. That's my take on it. Your energy, your passion, your love of what you do is so important, not just for you, but for the world. The world needs us desperately. No, the world needs us lovingly. The world needs us to be in a space where we can give that love and give that energy that we have, the loving energy, the passionate energy, the energy that is ours to share with each other. And until we choose to wake up and understand what part of me is not doing or being that, so that I can heal it and grow, we're going to stay where we are. So the beautiful opportunity, I just love this about the energy and the way the guy talked about 80,000 gallons a month of water. Could you imagine 80,000 gallons of joy, health, money, or love having leaked out of your system? For me, I think it's been more than that in the past, and the kind of life I lived when I was younger. Thank God I found unity. Thank God I found a way to learn that I am worthy of love and energy and positive energy. And thank God I found the passion that I love to do, the passion that I love to be, and how I love to share myself with the world or with individuals one by one. It's the most important piece for me to remember and realize that the energy within me is what I need to keep me moving forward. That energy is not the energy that I'd work off of to, I guess I want to say anxiety. I used to work off of anxiety. I mean, I would clean the house better if I was anxious. I would get paperwork done better if I was strung up and high energy and thinking I'm energized, but I'm truly just depleting myself because I'm doing things in such a negative way. And so the awareness is, how are you creating that energy within you, and what are you doing with it when it's there? It's so important. It is so important. Again, if you truly enjoy something, dive in. If not, have the guts to walk away from what doesn't serve you. There is no redeeming value in misery. The hell you worry about going to is not nearly as bad as the fear of it that drives you to do things alien to your spirit. Now, I know we don't believe that there is a hell. However, I have put myself through hell here on earth many, many times because of fear. Think about it. I still have fear today. I'm still fearful today, not as bad as I used to be. And it doesn't drain me. However, again, we create our own hell, and it's the worry that we put on ourselves. If you live from fear, you already are in hell, right? If you live from love, you have created the meeting point of heaven on earth. And that's the most important thing we could do for each other today. I need you. The world needs you. Everybody needs each other. Thank you.
I'm on mute. Thank you so much, Janet. That was a really good reminder of, needing to live life before death, because there's one thing that's guaranteed, and that is death. And I think sometimes some of us forget that and get stuck in all the minutiae of life. So thank you so much for that reminder. I now invite you to close your eyes and just take in a deep breath and let it out slowly. And just go back to a time where you remember feeling the joy that Janet just spoke of. A time where you felt joy in such a way that nothing else in the world existed other than what was bringing you joy and that feeling of joy. Just picture that. Feel it. Visualize it. And know that you can experience that joy again. Bring it forward into your life now. Remind yourself that it's a choice. It's a choice we can make to remember what brings us joy and to choose those things to have in our lives and to do. Take a few moments of silence just to picture that. Feel it. Know that joy is who you are, and embrace it.